Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Dave D Fishing. So in this video, I felt really compelled to show you guys the herring run that we have here in Weymouth, Massachusetts. I'm just going to show you the base of the herring run, and then I'll work my way up from the base of the herring run. Starts at the top of the Weymouth back river, heads up here, and I'll show you that in a second, and then goes all the way up to Whitman's Pond in Weymouth, where the herring end up, the herring, by herring I mean alewives, end up spawning. So I must say at the beginning of this video that the town of Weymouth does a lot of work in taking care of their herring runs, especially over the past couple of years. When I was 8-10 years old, I'm 33 now, the herring runs were atrocious. There was a lot of bushes growing over the side, lots of trash, debris, keeping the herring from going up there, and ended up, I feel like a lot of them died of exhaustion. When I did go to the herring run, they were laying all over the bottom. I know they just die. That's the thing that happens. Some of them are going to die, but I felt like it was a lot. The Whitman's Pond, where the water is coming from, seems to be a lot cleaner nowadays now. People being a little more sensible about what they're dumping at the edges of the pond. So with these alewives, they come up here usually mid-April, which it is now. Sometimes they come up a little bit earlier. I've seen them in the herring run in March sometimes. So we'll start here. The alewives will work their way up the herring run. There's quite a few different ladders, which I'll try and show you all of them, and I'll try and show you all the parking spots in which you can observe these fish. The main parking spot for watching the herring and the herring run is in Jackson Square. It's near the post office over there. There's a big giant parking lot over there, and there's also a big field. You can also park across the street and walk over. So this is the top of the Weymouth back river. So it's low tide right now. I don't see obviously any herring. They're going to be up past me at this point, but they go through up here. This is all tidal. They work their way under the bridge. I bet you there's herring in that little, next to that culvert over there. I'm trying to see if I see any dead herring, but I don't. So this is the top of the Weymouth back river, heading upstream, 2 culverts over there, and I will show you what that looks like closer up. So there's actually a big, huge ditch right there from when the water pours out in the winter, and it's pretty deep actually. It's probably 10 feet deep right there. Usually the herring stack up there at low tide and wait for the next opportunity to go upstream when the tide's a little bit higher, but you can smell the herring in the air. They're definitely in. You can see it's sort of frothy up there. It's usually not like that unless there's lots of herring around. You'll see. All right, we're gonna walk our way up there towards the culverts, and we're gonna take a peek and see if we can see some fish in there. Also, I forgot to mention, every year there's a gentleman who cares for the herring run over here, and he'll usually do an annual herring run cleanup. So he'll let kids come up and help clean out the herring runs. Adults can join too. So that involves working up the herring run, picking out things like bikes, crap like that, trash that will impede the path that the herring will take and block them from getting to Whitman's Pond. So, all right, so here we are. Let me see. Yeah, there's a big old ditch right there. Hold on. I haven't been up here in a while. So here it is. So actually the Amtrak rail is right there. And this is the culvert right here. So this culvert extends under the railroad track probably, I don't know, 50 feet or so, 100 feet, something like that. I don't know. It's quite a ways, but so some things that the alewives have to contend with in here. You got stripers that will be coming up soon, cormorants, seagulls. What else is there? Snapping turtles are starting to come out now. I actually see some mud minnows cruising around down there. That's a good sign. There's all kinds of stuff. And then once they're actually up in the middle of the herring run, there are bass that winter over in those herring runs, and some of them are big. And you can see some of those bass picking off those herring occasionally, depending on the time of day and just your luck. But I know there's pretty large bass in there. Doesn't look like there'd be any largemouth bass in those herring runs, but they do go up and down those herring runs. I've seen them, and they'll hide in the tunnels underneath the roads up there. So I'd say that some of the bass are like, they're over 5 pounds easily. I've caught a couple of them a while back, so I know there's still some in there. Yeah, so this is the top of the Weymouth Back River, start of the herring run, and we're gonna go work our way up to the Jacksonville Square parking observing area for the herring run. All right guys, so I just left that area where the culvert is, and now I'm working my way up the hill towards Jackson Square in Weymouth, and we're gonna go over to that parking area. I'm gonna show you the fish over there. So there's a bunch of parking areas over there. You bring your kids and that type of thing. There's a bunch of little convenience stores you can get to and just chill out for the day if you want to make it a whole day thing. So I just need to wait for this train to go by and we'll be on our merry way. As far as the eye can see. Alright guys, here's another good viewing spot, the Karsten Company parking lot area. There's a little dirt lot over here, so nice little spot to view from. There are a bunch of herring down there, but hard to see in the shadow. So this is an interesting spot to watch bass I found over the years, because there are some pretty largemouth bass that hide under this roadway right here, and you'll see them lunge out every so often and pick off some of these herring. So you could see them if you're lucky. So this works all the way down here. Some herring down there. So you see all the scales and the old clamshells down there. There's all kinds of stuff. But I don't see any bass. These herring or these alewives, sorry, are enormous. Bigger than their normal average size, since I've seen them at least. So, very big fish. Alright guys, working our way up the Iron Hill Road in Weymouth from the Karsten Company across the road. This little dirt lot. If we're walking from, you walk over here, plenty of parking, and you can meander over to this observing deck over here. I'll walk you over there in a second. So the herring have to go under the road, and they work their way over to this area from the Karsten Company, and they have to get through all the bass that are hiding underneath there. Usually there's a lot more cormorants and that type of thing sitting over here, but I actually don't see any, surprisingly. And then they work their way up that little fish ladder starting right there. Yeah, a long time ago, when I was like 10 or about 8 to 10 years old, the herring run did not look like this. It was a mess. Lots of bicycles in the water, trash, all kinds of stuff, large boulders. So here's the observing deck right here. Got a big old waterfall over there. This is the base of the Iron Hill Road in Weymouth. It's quite a distance they gotta work their way up from the base of this. Crazy. Alright, and this is the second to last ladder that the fish have to go up before entering into Whitman's Pond. So let me show you that last stop they got to make. All right, so we were just down on that observing deck down there, worked our way up Iron Hill Road to be exact. So you can walk up in here. Oh, there's our friends, the cormorants. Yeah, so you can actually fish up here or observe if you want to. So this is the last area that they'll stage up before they head up the last ladder a little farther up that way. It's like 1/8 of a mile up that way. And then they are finally in Whitman's Pond. So it's quite a long journey that you have just at the base of this run all the way up here. It's probably 2 miles of pretty much straight up ladders except for this spot right here. So you can fish up here. There's a lot of eels over in this direction underneath those gates over there. Pickerel, bass, crappie, catfish. That's pretty much all I've caught in here. I'm sure there's more stuff, but I just haven't caught them. So yeah, all right, let me show you the last spot and then we're done. All right guys, so we are driving up Iron Hill right now. So you see all the cormorants staging up, picking off our little scaled friends. Bunches of them. All right, and this is Iron Hill Road at the top of it. Sorry, I'm driving at the camera, but I'm going like no miles an hour. So there's no parking up here for you to actually watch the herring, but essentially that last piece right there, you can walk up along that canal and you end up right here. Let me show you this. All right, so this is the little bridge over the last ladder of the Weymouth Herring Run before it ends up in Whitman's Pond. So that's where they stage up, just down there. With the herring run. Bridge. All right, and that's it. They are free. Well, not free, but they're done with the herring run at least, and then they can go get ready to do their thing and spawn in this Whitman's Pond over here. Okay guys, you made it to the end of the video. So towards the end, the herring I showed you will end up in Whitman's Pond in Weymouth. They'll wait in Whitman's Pond. Usually, what I've noticed is they'll start spawning when the lily pads actually start floating up off the bottom a little bit, and that's when you actually see the act of spawning happening. You can go to there's a gazebo and a sitting area and a fishing area along the Middle Street portion of Whitman's Pond in Weymouth. There's a boat ramp over there. Like I said, usually maybe a week from now, 2 weeks from now, you'll start seeing, depending on the weather and the lily pads and that type of thing, you'll see the herring actually spawning. Takeaways, got to take care of our herring runs. If you can volunteer and help clean up the herring runs, do so. I forget the gentleman's name that organizes that opportunity to clean up the runs, but he usually posts it on social media, usually really early April, maybe March. You can bring your kids and go do that. You never know what you're going to find, but yeah, usually bicycles. I don't know why bikes are a common thing to chuck in there. I think it must be a cool thing, but yeah, never know what you find, and it's a good opportunity to see where these herring are traveling up through. It is treacherous. So like I can't tell you how many times I've walked up and down this full length of this herring run. I don't know how they do it. Not only the current, but they have to fight off, if the stripers are in at that time, there's stripers sitting at the bottom of the run. There's largemouth bass in the herring run hiding in the tunnels. There's cormorants, there's herons of all different types. Snapping turtles, all kinds of stuff, and then just getting asphyxiated sometimes when there's a large run of herring coming up at a time. They'll actually deprive the oxygen out of that little pool if there's a ton of them. There was a lot of herring this year, and they were large too, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens earlier on, and we also have hot weather, so hopefully they make it up quickly. Weymouth has done an excellent job cleaning up the herring run in the Jackson Square area. They redid all the concrete work over there. They took all the debris off the bottom, the sediment, and earlier I believe I said in the video that the smelt also used the bottom of the herring run to spawn, and I have seen them in there not actually spawning but traveling up to the base of the herring run and staging there. So yeah, not only the herring use it, eels use it. The American eel go up there too. They actually swim up the herring run, and there's some huge eels I've seen in the Jackson Square herring pool over there, like maybe round as a baseball bat cruising up there. So yeah, you never know what you'll see. So invite you to take your family, your friends, walk up and down this herring run. It's, even if you don't like the fish, it just aren't that interested in the fish and just want to take a peek at them quick, that's fine. But it's a nice thing to do early in the spring, especially when the weather's nice. There's plenty of little convenience stores around. There's a Dunkin' Donuts, there's lots of benches, there's a massive park playground behind Pingree School that you bring your kids. So get out there, enjoy what we have. Again, this is here in Weymouth, Massachusetts, and the herring run is actually, the Herring Run pool, the one that most people know, is in Jackson Square in Weymouth. So thank you guys for watching. If you at least found this video entertaining, please give a like and subscribe. And next week I'm hoping I'll be going for pike. If pike doesn't work out, I might do a day trip for tautog, or better yet, if stripers are in, I could go cruise around in my kayak in the Cape for stripers. So all right guys, thank you for watching. Bye.